Hey there, welcome to my green pets. I'm William Green. This is my grow tent of orchids in my apartment. Got another group of smaller seedlings at the greenhouse in my town here. I rent out a space thanks to the help of my wonderful viewers. But I wanted to give you guys some news. I was talking. I got a message from Troy Myers at the Myers Conservatory, and he said they were having all kinds of technical issues with equipment and stuff, and that they were a little bit behind. But a lot of the seedlings are actually ready to be shipped, and as soon as they get their technical issues solved, they're going to start shipping some stuff out later this year, so that's exciting. I also asked Troy if he would update the names of my Cattleya Rex seedlings at the conservatory, because when I first started sending seed, the plants didn't have clonal names or anything like that. I was just numbering them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as they bloomed. But now that they've got clonal names and a couple of them have gotten awards, I sent him their new names and their awards if they had any, and asked him if he would update those. So I'm kind of hoping that will happen sooner rather than later, so that people can actually know what they're getting. I will say that I was looking at the amount of seedlings that were still available, and it's dropped considerably. So I think over 60 flasks of the NT by Cattleya cross have been reserved, and then several flasks of the Mayu by Urku as well. So that's awesome. I am stoked that so many of those babies have found a home, and hopefully we're gonna be receiving those seedlings soon. Also, some exciting news. This is Cattleya Rex NT. Its flowers are fading, but you can see that the two flowers that were pollinated seem to be taking. On the right, we have NT by Self. On the left, we have NT by Triumphans, one of the beautiful Triumphans that came out of the Orchid Trail offering in 2017, 2018, sometime around in there. I've seen a few of them here and there. Keith Davis, if you don't know who Keith Davis is, he's got a website, Keith Davis Orchids. I think he must have bought an entire flask, because he flowered out like 15 to 20 of those Triumphans, and a couple of them got awarded. All of them look spectacular, so I'm super excited to have that pollen on NT, an awarded Rex, and hopefully we'll get something cool out of that. This pod is from NT by Mayu. Both awarded Rexes. In fact, the only two awarded Rexes in the United States. This seed has both of those as parents, and I'm going to just show you a quick photo I took. One of the benefits of being a teacher is that I have access to science labs pretty easily, so I looked at the seed underneath the microscope, and I couldn't see color very well, but you could definitely see those chunky little blobs in the seed, and those are embryos. So if those embryos are alive and well, then it looks like quite a high percentage of viable seed came out of there, and it is everywhere. It is all over the tent. It's really amazing. This structure is just so cool. I mean, when it rains, the water goes off the sides and the seed stays dry up inside there, and when you blow on it, well, it's not gonna work now, but when you blow on it, the seed just flies out of all three openings. It's just such a cool structure for dispersing the millions of seeds. We've got another seed pod forming back here. This is Koyur by Mayu. And we've also got some blooms coming. This is Wida. Wida is a small plant compared to the other Rexes from this batch. But 3 flowers coming on this spike. It's exciting. And those will be opening probably in the next 3 or 4 days. And then Urku has another sheath that's kind of laying low for now, but I have a feeling it'll probably start pushing out buds in another month or so. And then this monster back here, this is 2 plants actually. This is Unu on the right and Nina on the left. Unu's pushing out a really nice big growth there with a sheath. Also has 2 more growths coming up. And then Nina has a couple of growths coming up back here as well. So that thing is just doing great. And one thing that's really frustrating is that even though it's mounted and sitting in a clay pot, the top dries out way faster than the bottom. So I end up watering it every day, but the bottom of the pot doesn't ever quite dry out. So I see like spider webby stuff, like fungus down there. It's annoying. I wish that I had bigger pots that had holes in the bottom so air could circulate better down there. But it's such a delicate balance. These plants, even though these plants are, you know, basically not in any media at all, they can still stay too wet if the bottom of the pot just kind of stays stagnant like that. It's kind of frustrating. Got some nice new growth coming up on several of the smaller Rexes. This is Kuichi. It bloomed last year actually. I don't think it'll bloom this year because it certainly took a lot out of it, but who knows, it might. And then it looks like Urku, just noticed, it's got another growth coming up there. And then Mayu, which already bloomed this year, has got some nice roots coming in and a new growth also on the side. And then this is a division of Mayu that I took. It's rooting nicely. It's in sphagnum. I'm keeping the sphagnum just barely kind of damp, not in any way wet. We've also got a couple of other smaller Rexes here in sphagnum, just kind of doing an experiment. So yeah, that's fun. The last Rex auction on eBay went really well last week was Iliapu. Iliapu used to live in the back corner here, but she's gone now. And I'm hoping that she has a nice home. Neither one of the people that bought from me on eBay left reviews, but they didn't communicate to me in terms of, you know, how was, you know, plant looked good, arrived in great shape. Well, one of them did. They emailed me, but they didn't leave any feedback, so that's not good. I need feedback on eBay. eBay's all about feedback, I think. Anyway, I was glad that those sold, and glad that they hopefully are going to go to good homes. My eyes right now are trained on Cattleya maxima. This plant's kind of just silently been chilling in the background. It's been producing new leaves, but it's got 3 sheaths sitting on it right now, and it's also not got any medium. It's just in a plastic air cone pot, and the roots are just kind of stuffed in there. There's a few rocks in there, but that's it. And last year, when it bloomed, I sprayed the blooms with Phyton 27 and pretty much destroyed them. I did not know that was going to happen, clearly, but I know now. So, last year bloomed in kind of in the summer, midsummer, and then again in late summer, so I'm expecting to see something similar this year. A little Vanda falcata is another one that just kind of hides out in the background and then all of a sudden starts popping out spikes. We got 7 blooms coming on this one, and I haven't counted on this one. I actually took this plant into AOS judging last year, and they said it had potential. They said the flowers were really, really nice on it compared to other awarded ones, but there just weren't really enough of them to consider. So maybe this year we'll get a few more. I think 7 on each spike is kind of the minimum that they're looking for. Over here, really excited to see HAL bulbophyllum echinolabium pumping out tons of roots. I mean, everywhere. Really glad to see that. And it looks like his older bulbs might actually be plumping up a little bit. So that's great. I've found that this mix has worked really well for my Bulbophyllum medusae. So I'm trying HAL in this as well. It's just a net basket with granite rocks in the bottom, and then a light layer, a thin layer of seedling grade bark sprinkled on top. And the roots do seem to like it, and I can water it every day, even twice a day if I want to, and it still dries out in time. Man, something is kicking at my allergies in here. This has never happened, literally. From sitting here taking this video, my nose is dripping. It might be the Cattleya seeds. Who knows? Catasetums, really just doing what they do, growing like wild beasts. And really excited to see what they do this year. These guys look like they're going to be a little bit smaller, but who knows? We're still very early in the season. You can see the difference between these smaller divisions of an older Rebecca Northern cross and this new one. I mean, that's going to be big. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, I will head over to the greenhouse in a little bit and take you with me, and we can see how the seedlings are doing over there. Alright, we're in the greenhouse and we're going to check out the plants I've got here, the seedlings. How's everything look? What do you think? They must have just watered. You can see the medium is pretty wet here. Here's the experiments, the ones that I have with no root or no medium in the pot. Got some new growth on these guys. Jose Marti has a sheath. Very exciting. Don't know if it'll bloom, but still nice to see. And my larger seedlings back here, new growth. New growth. All good. Gaskeliana's looking a little shrivelly, but I think he's growing new roots. I think it's going to be okay. Better a little too dry than too wet. My little cattail orchids are taking off. That's good. Good to see. Alright, that is the update for today.